have a shower.
We let go of formality a long time ago. The normal thing we do is intro the guest and say, hey, do you want to plug your stuff?
Yeah.
Sometimes we're a little sweaty and ask interview questions, but not often.
I'm always the sweatiest of like the interview questions askers.
Well, you're also one of the sweatiest ones in general because you're like, but we have to have topic.
Yeah, true. I'm very goal oriented.
And my OCD is the thing that keeps me going. Like, hey, check members. Hey, are you here or are we just BSing right now?
It happens.
There we go. This and shit. All right.
And there's Cody.
Just in time.
Hey.
Hello.
Right when I'm about to go to fucking get clean.
Oh, you weren't clean, dude? That's gross.
I know.
That's what I said.
That's icky.
At least I'm not fucking coming from changeover where I have to lift up fucking beer-soaked foam panels.
What in the hell?
They're on the ground covering the ice. And if you have audience sitting on them, they'll spill a drink and the beer just gets into the ice. So as you're picking it up,
They're serving beer at Disney on Ice?
No. They serve beer at, like, fucking other concert stuff.
Okay.
It sounds to me like you just don't appreciate free beer the way other people would.
I thought Simeon was the guy who would like appreciate beers the most. I don't know.
I do, but like I don't. There's a time and a place.
One time, as we were lifting up those foam panels, someone had spilt wine, so it was just stale wine, and dirt and ice all smushed together.
It's like the world's worst fucking cake.
Or just black ice. I don't know.
Hey, we're not going to be racist against ice.
That's not what I meant. God, I no. I'm pushing that. We're moving on. We're moving on. We're not doing that.
On the road and you slip and fall on your ass.
I mean, black ice also did kill the bass player for Metallica.
Oh,
one of them. Now I'm
That's
sad.
not a fun fact.
Go take your fucking shower. Stop making me sad.
Fuck you. I'll be back.
We're starting. That man's gonna go take a shower.
Yeah, Boingo.
Yeah, Boingo's just gonna appear 30 minutes into the show because we're professionals.
Yeah, it happens. In and out.
Yeah, you don't have to lie.
We really appreciate it.
You could have just
for tolerating this bullshit.
So good.
All right, I'm gonna start in a bit.
Okay.
Also, hello. I'm Cody Snowcone Lee Burke.
Cody, where the hell are you right now?
Sounds like you just flushed the toilet.
I'm in my apartment.
Are you on like a PlayStation headset or something?
Yes.
No, never.
Cody literally plays games and zones out most weeks.
Yeah, he's chill. He's chill. He don't worry. He still talks and shit.
I don't zone out. Just sometimes I don't have anything to say.
Yeah. One of the greatest joys of the show recently was last week where I was like, hey, that fucking Thomas game came out. How about that? And then Cody just goes, I'm playing.
Yeah. Thomas the Tank Engine, to be clear. I meant
Tumnus from Narnia, actually, Buster. You didn't understand.
I've never read anything Narnia related, so I don't know. I wouldn't know if there was a Thomas in Narnia until today.
Tumnus.
Hummus?
Tumnus. The fawn. James McAvoy.
My ears aren't working today. Bad trait to have during a podcast. Very
Do
bad.
I have to put Narnia on my AF list?
Maybe.
Oh my God.
Don't make Buster watch Christian coded bullshit.
Yeah. Actually, I just realized, like, you're really making Muslim watch a bunch of like Christian related imagery. It's like, that's a bit sus.
It's not even like related imagery. It's like directly inspired and infused imagery.
Yeah. Oh no, it's It's literally an old man's Bible fan fiction. It's great.
Fascinating. I think I'm gonna start the show.
Okay.
In like a minute. Hey everybody, welcome to Modular Components, the one show where Boingo has to take a shower, Simeon is stinky, and Cody is always the vibing.
It's stinky. I took a shower an hour ago.
Thought you were
I
about to call me
forgot what I was
stinky,
supposed
too.
to say. I forgot what I was supposed to do. I'm Buster, and I brought in a very special guest. Introduce yourself, special guest.
Hey, I'm Foxcade. I do YouTubes.
Yeah, you do a variety of things on the YouTubes, I can tell. Yeah, I forgot how I met Foxcade. He just kind of was just. I'll be real. I think I was just one day I just popped into his Discord server and I'm just like, yeah.
Sounds about right.
It sounds about right. That's yeah. I see him elsewhere.
I think that's just the adult version of sitting down next to somebody and saying, "Hey, what's your favorite color?"
Kinda, yeah. Just like yeah, I joined a server or I went to a local and did that. That's I don't know. I mean, but yeah, I got a couple loosely related questions, but we don't have to go too strict. I guess I'll just start with like a general like, when do you think you hit your stride on YouTube? Because I feel like everyone like I feel like you watched. From what I understand, you watched like other YouTubers around the time, but it's like when do you like everyone knows like honestly I'm realizing like how you get into YouTube is pretty like generic, but it's more fascinating to hear when you hit your stride as like personal stride as like a content creator or whatever. So
I think it's when I started doing the DMC retrospectives, and then I was like, oh, okay, I think I'm onto something. Because initially I was just doing like, I don't know, some bullshit, just like a lot of. I don't think they were even on the channel anymore. There was a lot more like review style type content initially, where I was trying to figure out what I wanted my channel to look like, and then eventually I
Your
was like,
first
oh, okay, I
video
think this is a
currently
format I
is
prefer.
listed as a gaming history video on Pokemon that's 9 minutes long.
Yeah. Oh man, when I could make something that was sub 10 minutes, Jesus.
Said
and the sub 10 minute zone, that's where I live, baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Yeah, it did seem like even if those videos are like, oh my god, the DMC retrospective is almost 10 years old. Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah, Jesus, yeah.
Yeah. But like, yeah, that does seem where you like figured at least like your writing style out, or just like even if like it did change over time, like that's I think you started putting the little like fox head that like kind of morphed into the little like Scrimblow fox that we see today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, name every Pokemon ever.
Bulbasaur, Ivysaur.
We're gonna be here all day.
Pikachu, Raichu, Goldfish, Starmie, Staryu.
You know what? We can segue into
and
that,
so on, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so forth.
and so on and so forth. Yeah. Yeah.
That one guy that asks, day 3 of asking my AI chat GPT to count 100. And he's trying to like figure out the way to say it that it'll do it, because it just naturally wants to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on and so forth until 100.
Yeah.
All right, now name every Pokemon that doesn't exist.
That would just be naming a person.
No, wait.
I don't know.
Well, there's Dave, there's Bob, there's Carol, there's Susan, there's Jacob.
I guess we could like circling back. Why did you do the DMC retrospective in the first place? Like, was it just like, oh, I like this series a lot, or did you just feel like, oh, not a lot of people were talking about it at the time, or was there just like a
mix of both? I like DMC, and it was mostly just like, oh, I remember really liking this series growing up, and I was like playing them again, and I was like, I should do a video about this. And then I looked online, and I was like, nobody's really done like a video of this style. Like most of the time when I make something, I just check on like what's on YouTube and go, has anyone done something on this? No? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that is kind of,
because if someone's already done it, then it's a waste of my time.
Yeah, that is kind of the formula for getting the big thing. I feel like is like once you've got your sea legs, you kind of understand how to make video. you find the thing that like you're specifically interested in and have a lot to say about that hasn't been covered too much yet.
Or at least like an angle to do it. You know,
Yeah,
you
I
might
mean,
cover
like,
like a specific thing, but there are certain topics where it's like I don't know if there's a way to make a video about this and for it to gain traction, unless you are someone that already has a significant following. But then it's like, well, then you're getting views regardless. But if
yeah.
someone's like, oh, I'm gonna make a big series retrospective about Kingdom Hearts, it's like, I don't know, man. I feel like that's really well worn ground at this point. Like
Yeah.
the
I mean, I even
Bioshock's another
struggling
one.
like I was good. That's how I kind of started doing the videos I do. But it's like, oh, like I just kind of like struggled, and now I just like, oh, well, now it's already been said to death, both positive and negative. That I'm just like, well, I kind of lost there. I'll just
There are certain things where it's like you shouldn't make a video specifically about that topic unless a majority of your audience is asking for it.
yeah. And even then, it just you could
Even
just
then, I sometimes hold out on viewers because I'm like, no, you don't know what you want. You think you know what you want. You don't.
I could think of a really good example of you, the reboot.
Part
Yeah.
twos, yeah.
Yeah, never happened. And don't ask about. You literally have to like put the note in that versus Wolves video.
Okay, because I have been asked about this, and I was even talking about this with Wooly the other day. The problem with doing the reboot video is multiple fold, but one of them is funny enough is simple enough of like there's so few people torrenting that Netflix reboot show that it is hard to get a good rip of it online. So if I want footage for the video, I have to basically screen record like Netflix in one go watching it, which I don't want to do. Like that would just be a day of watching through the entire thing so I can get
Again.
of it. And then two is most of the show is really boring and uninteresting. Like
Very
I can only bang on the drum of this isn't good reboot show for so much, but then at the end of the day, it's just like it's just boring and nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I like that versus Wolves segment.
You have to have stuff to say.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You have to have something that is like interesting and salient and speaks to something that even other people who have talked about the thing haven't. I mean, that's a part of why my most successful video became that way, is just it was this thing where I was mad about a show and the person who always makes videos about that show made their video and I'm like, you're not mad enough. And so I went and made my video and
you're hating on it wrong.
Yeah.
You're being too soft on this. Let me put the gloves on. I'll step in the ring.
It also helped that I was like, God, was I like 16
like 18,
or 17?
19?
Yeah, I was late teen, so I was like prime age to be angry about something on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it. Yeah, I know. I feel like
as opposed to now, where I'll get free episodes into something and be like, "Oh, this is fucking shit. I'm not wasting any more time on this."
Yeah, unless it's like
it's also a very particular type of bad as well, because like the reboot example is like good version of like this is just boring and nothing. And most of when I was initially planning on doing a part 2 about the reboot shows was talking about how it got to the Netflix show, because it was a really weird journey and it's like a lot of company buyouts, and you know the people that made Mainframe Studios are like not there anymore, and it's an entirely different crew, and also just like the history of the person who directed the new show, and how it's like he made a show before the Netflix thing that was basically exactly the same thing, and it's like, did he just take reboot and just mangle it to be the show that he did before that failed, or is he just so uninteresting that he just has one story to tell and that's it? Because either version is not great. But the Netflix show is just boring to watch. There is something really interesting about a show that's bad in like a fascinating way, where it's like, I'm actually kind of compelled at how like this fails.
Yeah, and that was also part of the thing with that video I did, where it was like, it was so frustratingly bad because they had told people like, this is the most expensive season of this show ever, and then it was like, there's so many areas where you
which
can.
show was
It's
it?
Power Rangers. It's Power
It's
Rangers.
Power Rangers
okay.
Megaforce, which was the 20th anniversary season.
Yes.
And there's so much stuff in that show that's just like, okay, you are clearly cutting corners here, here, and here. You're clearly just copy pasting from Mighty Morphin here, here, and here. And then there's areas where you're like weirdly putting in too much effort. Like, why are we shooting around this stuff from the Sentai, but not this stuff? It's, oh god,
Let me ask you a quick question to hopefully doesn't spiral you out even further. Was the source material good? Like, was the like original like Sentai version of it?
It's adapted from two different Sentais, one of which I have never watched, the other of which is literally my favorite show of all time.
Okay. So we land on the heart of the problem.
Yeah.
And it was
that's right, because Megaforce, it's like Megaforce, and then there's like Super Megaforce or something. Like there's a second
like a different
season.
show.
So Megaforce is Go Sager, which is the show I've never watched and has like an iffy opinion. It was really despised at the time it aired, but it's kind of like found its audience since. But Go Kaiger was the 35th anniversary Sentai, and that's how a lot of people got into Super Sentai. And that was also I like test ran a couple different shows before I landed on Go Kaiger, but it was kind of my inroad to Sentai a few years after it had aired. Like, I think I watched it not in preparation for Megaforce, but just like I was getting back into Power Rangers and Sentai and discovering tokusatsu in general. And I was like, oh, everybody says this is really good and it's fairly new. Let's give it a shot. And now it's like a part of my soul.
I've never seen it.
Totally valid.
Thanks, Cody. Yeah, no, it's fair. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like, like another question. We talked about like you started like mainly just doing video games, and then I think was it like Full Metal or Malcolm in the Middle that kind of transitioned you into just like all media of like just whatever.
I think it was I think it was Full Metal Alchemist and then Malcolm in the Middle. It was like I'm gonna do like an anime thing, which I'd already kind of done with the DMC's like Netflix series.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was early on
anime. And I don't know. At that point, I was like, I'm just gonna start just doing whatever I want. Like that's where I just realized I was like, as long as the video is interesting enough, I don't think my audience is gonna.
Yeah, it has been like interesting.
Words.
It has been like I'll go. It has been interesting seeing like a lot of YouTube channels like just be like, oh, I only have to do games. I only have to do TV, and then just kind of like, oh, just whatever. Yeah, like over the years.
Say, as just like a new viewer coming in, it does like feel, especially because like just because of the way YouTube was when I was growing up, anime and video games have always been kind of like semi-connected as mediums in my mind. So it does feel like a bit of a shock to the system scrolling through your videos, and it's just like video game, anime, video game, anime, video game, live action sitcom.
Yeah. Well, that is kind of like part of it is like, because I've told so many like content creator friends that are always like, oh well, I do video game stuff and like like I do like RPGs and like, oh, I can't do this or that, and I was like, why not? And they're like, oh well, because my audience expects this, and I was like, okay, but
the algorithm, man, the algorithm will just tank my channel.
Yeah, it's just this like idea that the algorithm will hit you with a giant mallet because you dared to like try something different. And I was like, my reaction to that is like, especially for like a smaller channel that is like not really gaining momentum already. And I don't say this to be dismissive of smaller channels, but just like this is the benefit of being a smaller channel, is take those risks. Because if people already aren't really finding your channel already doing the same thing you were doing before, what's the harm in doing something different? Like, what are you really losing by not exploring the medium a little bit more and maybe going like, oh fuck, I want to talk about this like thing I have a lot of opinions about that maybe doesn't conform to my very specific niche that I've put myself into in my little box. Like I was like, I think it's worth putting yourself out there. And a lot of creators that are super successful right now, that was where they started to take off, was doing those bigger, riskier things that, you know, broke themselves out of that, you know, little square they put themselves in.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like another thing that just is kind of like a way to defeat this issue, this like mental orbit that gets stuck in of I have to do only this because of the algorithm. If I want to do something else, I have to make a second channel for that.
Yeah.
It's like this is something Boingo said to me like about a year ago now, and it's stuck with me ever since. More people just need to diversify their revenue streams. Like you can't only rely on YouTube for your paycheck. Like make a Patreon, make a shirt store, have a fucking Ko-fi. Like don't let the view count determine whether or not you're gonna have lunch tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I guess that's a good
Robo-bang.
segue into another question I had for Fox. Because how did you get involved with Eyepatch Wolf? Like, I guess just jumping right into it, because I know you do a lot of editing for both his podcast and like regular Eyepatch Wolf, and even like I've seen you're credited on. You're credited on the main channel sometimes as like a co-editor. I just want to.
I've been a co-editor for the main channel stuff for the last 2 years. We're expanding the production now with the main channel.
I saw some applications of like. So some applications.
Yeah. There's applications to bring a couple people on. More just to like lighten the load and make it easier for me if I'm just like I'm not available for this main channel thing because I got a bunch of other stuff. You just gotta pull one of the other people. But honestly, it was just like we just like talked for a number of years. Back when he had his like old podcast. LFAB, Let's Fight a Boss. I ended up like talking very briefly with his co-host Neve on Twitter, and I just was like, they said something, I can't remember what it was. They just made a post and I just responded to it, and I guess they like looked at my account and saw one of my videos and they gave it a shout out, and Joe was like, I'm familiar with that name. Like, are they like a follower? And they're like, oh yeah, no, they're sound. And then eventually, funny enough, the thing that got me in contact with John specifically was there's some bullshit happening on his main Discord, and it was just like it was just a situation where it's like a mod should probably step in, and then I look over and I was like, oh, there's no like mods on this server. There is John and his 2 friends who are never online. So I was like, hey, I don't know what you should do about this situation, but like, this should probably be addressed. And then he's like, do you want to be a mod? I was like, huh? He's like, yeah, because Neve's not.
Isn't that always the fucking way?
And I was like, I guess. I was like, sure. He's like, okay, yeah, you have mod privileges. Oh, and I was like, okay. And so I just was like, that from then on, I just slowly worked my way up the responsibility chain link by just being consistent and reliable to the point where he's like, oh yeah, I'm making like a second channel for like, doing VOD archives because there was a different channel that was doing it. Do you want to edit it? I'll pay you. I was like, oh yeah, sure. So I started doing it and I did a really good job. He's like, oh, I just expected you just to like cut out all the like dead air and then just throw it up. I wasn't expecting like editing. And then I was like, yeah. And then it did really well. And he's like, oh, this is way better. Because the initial promise was like, oh, I'll pay you half unless we like don't hit over a certain amount. Then I'll just pay you a fat fee. And then we like immediately made it to the point that like splitting income was like sustainable. He's like, oh, I wasn't even sure if this would last like 3 months. I was like, okay, cool.
Well, Buster, you didn't tell me any of this.
No, I thought I could have.
No, you just sent me like a handful of Fox's videos because this is the thing. I have talked about Eyepatch Wolf on the podcast multiple times where like I got very burned out on his main channel for a while, and then I discovered the second channel, and I was like, "Oh, this is so much better because it's not bogged down. It's just him talking about stuff."
You're welcome. You're welcome for that, because that was also me telling him, I was like, you should do more yapping videos, because I think that's what people actually want more than they want streams.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could have sworn I don't know. I'm one of those weirdos who like reads the credits of like not just like TV shows but just YouTube videos. So I just thought, oh, everyone else will read the credits or things. And I thought
I'm supposed to be on the lookout for certain names. I will be, but like I won't just read the.
No, it's a me issue because I didn't tell you like.
I'm explaining that I'm not a freak like you right now.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of had a similar experience with like actually what you described with the Discord bot thing. I got the bad ending of that situation, Fox. I'll explain. The Shapefull's Patreon Discord that doesn't exist anymore. That I got the reverse bad ending of that, where I'm friends with James, but also that place I met him through the Patreon Discord, but there was no mods, and then shit happened that I don't want to talk about, and that led to the Patreon closing down. Not the Patreon, the Discord closing down. And I was like, I still got in contact with all the people like that I'm friends with from there. I even invited them onto this podcast before, but it's also like, ooh. So it's like, oh, so they're just hearing like, oh, good things can happen. Okay, that Discord mod story.
I also just am someone that is fortunate enough to be lucky in that I'm decent. I don't want to say I'm good, because it sounds like I'm like, oh, I'm so like charismatic and all that. I'm very fortunate enough to make connections very quickly with a lot of people online, and then just somehow that results in like me somehow being on like Wooly's like streams and like hanging out.
I feel that
going
sometimes
to, like, dinners,
like
where it's like, oh, hey, here's all these other like, you know, credible people in the industry that actually like make stuff. And I was like, how'd I fucking get here? Like it seems like most I did was just like be chill to hang out with.
Be chill, yeah.
I'm just like it. I'm getting the sense, having just watched like a handful of your videos and talking to you for the last hour, that like you're one of those people with that temperament of, oh, this is how this is. This needs to get done. Well, then I'll just go get it done. And people really appreciate that.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah. Sure, it's late. Oh, I'm not gonna go to sleep. Don't worry.
Sweet dreams.
That's later.
The Buster Nap stream coming soon.
No, hell no. My snores are awful. I think. I don't know. Do I snore? Oh, I'll ask later.
Put the camera up and we'll find out.
No. No.
I know I snore. We could have a snore off.
No. Actually, here's a more casual question for you, Fox. What was like either like your favorite video of yours or Eye Patch Wolf's to edit, or just like put together, in general? Like not like the final product, but like just the creative process of it all.
The process behind it.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, a lot of the time, as soon as like a video's out of my hands, I kind of forget half of the shit I did.
Yeah,
as soon as it's like out of sight, out of mind. I think you get this a lot from a lot of creators where you like ask them, it's like, oh, what like you'll mention a thing that was in their video, and they're like, I said that.
Yeah,
like, yeah, that's from
that makes it weird when you're doing
like,
the interview.
That's like 5 years ago.
I just. Like you see this with creatives at conventions all the time, where it's like people wanna ask these toy designers like, what was the intention behind sculpting this 20 years ago? And they're like, man, I was just trying to pay my rent.
Yeah,
it just comes down to like that was just the like economical way to do it. Like that's just the way that made sense at the time. There was no grander vision to it. It's just that's how it worked out. looking back on the channels, I think for to answer the easy one for working with John, it'd probably be honestly the Riverdale video. I had a lot of fun on that video, and
Those are great ones.
genuinely I had fun because for initially probably one of the biggest things I had to do with working on John's stuff initially was just doing the preliminary cut for stuff, which required going through like movies or shows or whatever and making cuts in the footage so that it's easier to pull from. Which initially required for watching like social anxiety horrors. Like I had to watch like a bunch of the movies and like go through it and like make cuts where there was like good scenes or like stuff that came up in the script. And in Riverdale, same thing. Eventually we figured out at some point, it's like, oh, we're wasting our time like crazy. There is a function in Premiere Pro that you just right click on the footage and you can tell it to make cuts whenever there is a cut, like a scene cut. And it'll just auto generate it for you. It'll just make all those places. Yes, it'll basically just make in and outs wherever there is a cut in the footage.
They taught me
and
that
it's
in
not
editing
perfect,
college. I'm not even kidding. That's the first things they taught me in editing college. Like
My
I'm
jaw
not,
just
like Premiere,
dropped.
like Premiere
I never
Pro,
knew
like
that was a
having
thing
that,
with
like
any program.
Yeah, it's one of those functions we didn't realize like it had was like you could just tell it to just auto generate all the cuts for you. I had to do it manually, and I was like, oh well, I'm fucking stupid. But I basically had to basically watch through all of Riverdale to make those cuts. And in the process, I was like, oh, I actually love this show. This is the exact type of stupid shit I like.
yeah.
And people would be like, it's fucking stupid, it's bad. And I was like, I don't have any real feelings about Riverdale, like Archie comics, so
Yeah.
I just think it's fun and like wacky.
It
So,
seems like a
like-
good. It seems like a show that would go crazy on out of context YouTube compilations, and like maybe
100%, 100%. There's
like
so much bullshit there that's
yeah.
like
I mean,
nonsense.
even just I don't even think the video scratched the surface from what I understand of like what John describes in those Riverdale videos.
It hits most of the beats, but I think there is
Yeah.
some stuff that like obviously had to be skimmed over.
Yeah.
In terms of my channel, just because it's the most recent, I do think I had a lot of fun, as fucking painful as it was to
Yeah.
get finished. I did have a lot of fun with the Netflix DMC show video. I also had I had a lot of fun doing the Star Trek one because that's where I was really experimenting with like masking stuff and doing some like visual.
Yeah, there's some really good edits in that Star Trek video. Just like
but
characters would
I
just
think
pop in.
the safest one would probably be the DMC show one.
Yeah, which I know you were working on that for like a good year, like I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know like
I'm
like,
slowly
when the
turning
show-
into one of those YouTubers that's like, here's my yearly upload. See you next year.
Yeah, the H bomb Jenny Nicholson tier. Dare we say?
Yeah.
Defunct Land.
The Funk Land.
Defunct
That's a couple. Like the Funk Land does like 3 videos a year. That's a bit more.
He's more like a quarterly type release, which I think is also quite common.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to dwell too much because I feel like you've already exhausted on the Netflix DMC video. But man, I just want to shout out the AMV editing of like the beginning and like even like there's bits and pieces of like I feel like it fits with both the show and Devil May Cry of like trying to do these like little AMV like intro, the AMV intro specifically like really fits that.
I love doing AMV editing. Like that's one thing I like. I just decided that like halfway through working on that video is like, oh, this is an absurdly long video that's taking forever. What if I also added in like an AMV at the start that's going to take up like an entire like probably 3 days of editing?
Yeah, there's a part of me that
I was really happy with how it came out.
Yeah, there's a part of me that wants to put more AMVs, but my videos are so short that I'm like, this is going to be half the video. No.
It's also like it's content ID suicide.
I mean, like I have covers.
It's you gotta be really. It only really works with video game music itself because it's not gonna get caught. But if you're doing like actual music, it's like, ooh, a lot of the time you're playing with fire in a very dangerous way. And I've had a lot of friends that have lost money because of that.
It was like a huge art form for a while there, and now it's kind of like it's almost like it has to be an underground thing. You can't just go and look for AMVs. You have to stumble across them, which sucks.
I feel like TikTok, like those kind of like, I mean, fan cams and AMVs are like different, but it's like it has been like gaining traction again. Like,
a little bit, yeah.
I have seen a lot of stuff like that on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah.
I know. There's a Discord server I'm in that keeps posting little like MV edits of like Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, because that just came out on digital, and it just like where everyone in that server is obsessed with the movie, and they keep finding these like TikTok edits of like just they're basically AMVs of the movie.
Speaking of AMVs, I love the minute that "Pray to the Sun" song from One Piece live action dropped. Everyone was like, "Oh, we're just putting that to the anime now. That's an anime song now."
Yes.
It's that's ours now.
It's such a good piece, though.
It's so good.
When they, I think it was before the show dropped, they just, maybe it was they announced what the name of the song was, but I remember seeing that, and that's like, oh, Pray to the Sun, such a fucking good name for this section. That's like so fucking good. And then I heard it, I was like, awesome.
And it also foreshadows so much if you know later One Piece stuff.
The people that work on the live action series, it's like I'm always impressed of like how I knew they were ball knowers. I'm always impressed at how much they know ball. It's like, oh, you are in the fucking trenches.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like the One Piece video, like I really like, it actually got me to finish because I was liking the live action, but I didn't really like, oh, I'm not gonna finish it. But that One Piece video made me go and like finish the like live action eventually. I was like, I will finish this and like get and like to watch season 2. I still haven't finished season 2 because I'm watching it with my mom, and it's like that's gonna take forever. But it's like, it's like I like it. It made me appreciate a lot more.
It's a fun series. Like I'm never gonna treat it like it's like, oh, this is top 10 best thing ever. It's like it is a good adaptation. I think it does a lot of enjoyable things with how it treats the source material. Like it does just enough that it's like super respectful of the source material, but doesn't feel like it's doing a 1-to-1 copy, which is what I don't want.
It's also just a great way to
they take certain swings.
It's a great way to revisit like the major swings of the early stuff again. Yeah. And it still feels fresh.
And a good introductory for a lot of people, because most that aren't already reading or watching One Piece are like, it's so long though. It's like 100 chapters just to get to where it's like good or like really good. Whereas I can just go, hey, here's like 2 seasons of a show, and it's like there's minor differences, but this gives you the general gist. And if they like it, then I'm like, hey, there is more if you want. Just saying.
And it probably helps that the live action will inevitably never cover the whole thing. It'll just like
it's never.
Yeah, never.
Like just no
in a million years.
No world are we getting to live action Wano.
Yeah, I know. Like, there was a recent interview where like Oda says there's a specific section he wants them to like at least get to before they stop production. I don't know what section they're referring to. My best guess is Marineford, but I'm like,
that feels like
I'd be curious if it would be like get to like Eni's Lobby or something. Like
Eni's Lobby makes sense, but Marineford just feels like a weird place to end it because none of the Straw Hats are there. It's only Luffy, and it's like. No, you're with the live action cast. You're falling in love with all of them.
Yeah, you're right. Like
Taz, Emily, Mercure, like you guys take a seat. You guys are done for the rest.
That's kind of about it. Maybe really you know what? Maybe you could kind of go Return to Sabaody and have it be Into the Sunset ending.
Because it's like, where would it make sense for them to just like break off? Because that's where I always think of it. Like where's
I want like an original ending.
They continue to go off on adventures, like
or just like Into the Sunset. I don't know. It's
hey,
that's their problem to decide. That's their problem.
At least it'll end better than 4Kids One Piece, which ended on the idea that all the Straw Hats are dead.
Just a ship fell on them. It's like what happened after that? Well, after
absolutely nothing.
After Luffy reincarnated as Joy Boy.
Oh, that's such a good. That's so fucking clever.
I think we talked about that last week.
We need a dub. We need a dub voice for Joy Boy, and they just went, What if we went? What if we went and chased down 4Kids Luffy?
Yeah.
I
Is it,
love
like,
I
to
love
me-
anytime the dubs do that or anytime they do that with voice acting.
It's also just like a nice
they get,
hat, nod of the hat of like, hey, people, your dub may not have aged gracefully, but yours did get people into One Piece. Here's your flowers.
it's just a really nice send up. The if I remember correctly, I could be misremembering because One Piece has done this a couple times, but it's not with 4Kids. It's with the Toei like OVA that predates the like anime. They've pulled people from that to do stuff. If I remember correctly, the director for that OVA, they got on to do directing for the Red film, One Piece film Red.
Yeah.
And I could be misremembering it. I might be just getting my wires crossed with like, them bringing in 4Kids Luffy. I think Joy Boy is the OVA Luffy. I could be wrong though. I'd have to double check. And then the other version of this that I always love because it's very near and dear to my heart is Dragon Ball Super. There is a very small like filler arc where they're on some planet and there's like this jelly monster that basically takes on Vegeta's form and is like zapping his power. And instead of just getting Chris Sabat to do his voice again, but adding like a filter onto it, they went out and reached out to the ocean dub actor for Vegeta, which is what I grew up with in Canada for like many years before it swapped to the Funimation voice. And they got him to do like this gelatin Vegeta. And it's like, that's so cool. Like, that's such a nice little nod to like the other voice actors within this fandom, and I always love when they do stuff like that.
Yeah. Also, you are correct on OVA Luffy. It's Ora Tanako from the OVA Luffy OVA doing the Joy Boy in the Japanese Toei dub.
Okay, yeah. So they kind of took inspiration of that with the Funimation version.
I mean,
which is
there was also a similar thing that got shit canned. Is they got the Abridged guys to do the Cell Games recap in Super.
No,
I was thinking about that in my head. I was like, I also remember they grabbed the Bridge guys to do that, and I think they also did that in Kai as well.
Kai. That's
not,
what
not
I was
in,
talking
like,
about. Kai.
Yeah,
Kai.
the clip floats. The clip is still floating around.
Yeah,
you can find it.
It's not official. It's not official.
It's in the Boo saga where they're watching like a acted out version of the Cell saga, and they just like grabbed the DBZA guys, which is like such a cute little nod.
Yeah, it's a shame it got shit canned, but at least the clip is still there, and it's still a funny clip.
Y'all,
actually,
bringing up One Piece is like my version of Jay Bauman whenever Mike brings up Star Trek.
Well, if you watched One Piece, it wouldn't be like that, you dum dum.
No.
All right.
We could talk about Star Trek.
Yeah, because
we never fucking talk about Star Trek on this show, except when I bring it up as like, yeah, this is kind of like Star Trek.
There are those new figures about Star Trek that we could chit chatter.
Fox, are you at all aware of the Nacelles Star Trek figures?
No.
Nacelle, this is my first time hearing about it.
So Nacelle Toys is a fairly recent company. That was it was weird. They started as like a film company where they were doing like all these web documentaries, and then like they really struck gold with people being into their documentary series about local toy stores. So the person who kind of spearheaded that and had started the company was like, well, I've always been a toy collector and a fan of toys. Let's see what licenses we can get and start doing toys. And they started grabbing up all these dead licenses that hadn't been like used in years, like Robo Force and shit like that. And they've had some moderate success with that. But the big exciting thing with them right now is they have the Star Trek license. And I think they have the license to just everything before the Kelvin timeline, because the whole pitch for the line is, okay, you will get a full crew, but we're also going to do like the weirdest shit. We're going to bebop around and just do like these random ass characters and looks that a regular toy line would never get to.
Is that the guy from Enterprise in the 60s uniform?
Yep, because he wore that in one episode.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. I'm like, this is so weird seeing. Like, yeah, these are not figures they ever would have made.
Captain Jellico, the action figure.
Right?
Tufix, the action figure.
Yeah, Jellico as a figure is fucking crazy. Like, who's like, oh man, I can't wait to get my Jellico figure.
And the other thing
that's how toy collecting me these days.
They're doing this whole commitment to like they're all the same price point, but one figure per wave will just have a ridiculous giant accessory. So like in wave 2, they're doing Kirk specifically from Star Trek Generations, and he comes with the horse he rode in one scene.
we just needed toys to attach to these guys. Also, fuck all the Star Trek toys. Who gives a shit about that? They got biker mice from Mars.
Yeah, that's the most recent release.
They got cowboys from Musa.
They've put those in Walmarts. The biker mice from Mars are in Walmarts now.
Oh, really? I actually $50. That might be worth it for the troll. That might be worth it to troll someone I know.
Troll. Wait, is there a bit that with biker mice from Mars that?
Yeah. I'll tell it after.
The other thing is like they're also like except for the Star Trek thing, because obviously Paramount controls all Star Trek media right now, but with all the other things they have licenses for, they're like, no, we got the whole license and we're going to make a new show. So like there is a Robo Force show for the first time ever, because that was just like a goofy one-off 70s line back in the day. And the Biker Mice for Mars figures are supposed to be for a new animated series that Ryan Reynolds is heading up.
What?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's all we know about it right now, though.
It might honestly, like with how cartoons have been, like that might get tax written off. Like I'm gonna be real. That sounds like a tax write-off waiting to happen.
It's entirely possible.
Like
also,
I
know they have like Ensign Nog figure.
And I will argue they didn't revive Robo Force. The Glyos community did that for them, and then they just took.
They got the actual license.
What the heck is Glyos?
Glyos is that independent?
Talked about Glyos regularly, Buster. Don't even.
My brain doesn't register. I started working retail again, so my brain has been like forgetting everything ever.
It's the pen and socket toy system indie thing.
Oh, that one. Okay, that one.
But this is like the big first wave nacelle. Oh, we'll do anything Star Trek figure, because this is a character that only appears in one scene, and it's just an excuse to get a giant Genesis device accessory into the line.
I guess.
But yeah, Boingo posted what original RoboForce looks like. This is nacelle company RoboForce.
They're not bad. I just don't own one.
Parodies of robots.
A little bit.
And
like
just
you would watch
for
like
the
Ed
sake,
and Nutty.
Just for
and
again for the sake of reference,
show.
Here's the Glyos toys.
Oh, that one. Ah, okay.
I have some of those, and I will say that they're very fun. But rest in peace, your hands, because unless you have like a blow dryer nearby, like to get those pegs to work correctly, you really gotta like put your strength into it. And I mean, like, your fingers will be sore after like reconfiguring it once. Like, it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I don't even think I can accurately depict or like convey how shitty it is. It's hard. Put it in some water or something. Like, it sucks.
That's one of those. Yeah.
But they're an individual company. They're not like a big company. I don't hold that against them.
I mean, Glyos for the longest time was literally just made in a dude's.
Damn.
But getting back to actual Star Trek, I was gonna say before y'all got on the One Piece tangent, because we were kind of just talking about your videos in general. that was the most recent video of yours that I watched. And because like I just told Buster, and Buster made some recommendations, but I was just kind of like, I'll just look at the channel and watch whatever is a topic that I know or kind of know. So I did the thing where I started from the beginning, and I kind of had that journey of like seeing you get more and more competent as a video maker. But I didn't really latch on to your content until the video about Pokemon and feature creep, where I was like, oh, you're actually making arguments that I've never heard before in this discussion, and it's really well thought out. But the Star Trek video is the one where I was like, oh, this guy and I are on the same wavelength about something. We can talk about something, because TNG is one of those shows where I have not watched all of it specifically because I like that it's something that you can just slip in and out of, and it just has that same solid vibe in nearly every season.
Oh yeah, I've been going through it again with a friend of mine. A few of us, the rest of us has seen it. One friend who hasn't, but they've seen like a bunch of it, so it's like they don't really care if like spoilers, or we say like, oh, we're going to watch this episode. And they're like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
And we've been slowly making our way through. We got through season 1, but we skipped a bunch of it. But we were like, hey, we got to watch the pilot, because it was like you just have to get a sense of how bad or rough this pilot is, and they like liked it. They were like, oh, that wasn't nearly that bad. And it's like, but this gives you a sense of like everything up from here, because the pilot is very rough. And also, like, if we were ever to get to the finale, you also need this as frame of reference. But we did that, and they were like, okay, we got to do the drunk episode after, because there's that one shot where Data's serving while he's like where he's like leaning on the door, and it's like, we got to show you that. We got to show you that. And then after that, when it's like, well, we got to watch the racist episode.
Yeah, I think everybody needs to see the racist episode at least.
I was like,
once.
you got to get a sense of where we're starting from in season 1 when you hear, oh man, season 1, we almost didn't get a season 2 because it was rough. And so we watched those, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna watch a few of the good or story relevant episodes. So it was like data lore gets introduced. The one episode about Klingons, which rewatching it, I was like, fuck, I'm always kind of astounded watching that episode, because it's like the first act is them just getting onto this ship and looking around and be like, oh, what's the problem here, huh? And initially you think it's going to be like a data episode, because they're talking so much about his visor and how they're like seeing through.
No, it's Geordi, because like,
and you think it's going to be a Geordi episode.
There's that horrible moment where they're looking through Geordi's visor on the view screen, and Picard said something like, am I finally beginning to understand him? And it's like, how haven't you guys been working together for like months at this point? What?
Yeah, you kind of forget when you rewatch it that like so much of season 1 is like Geordi is like, oh man, I'm blind. Ugh. And then it's like, oh, thank God we got rid of that whole thing later. And it's like, Geordi's character trait after that is that he's very competent, and also he sucks with women, but at least it's not him just constantly complaining about being blind. It's like, no,
I would
being
much
blind
rather
is very much not
have
important.
Lady troubles than be sad about being blind, because it just reads so much as like, we're trying to be inclusive, but also we don't like that we have to be inclusive about this thing.
Well, I don't even know if it's like they didn't like being inclusive about it, but they're like, well, if he's blind, like we gotta talk about it though, right? Like that's gotta be his like biggest struggle, is that he hates being blind. And it's weird, because the first episode he goes like, like, you know, this is just how I've been forever, so I'm pretty used to it. But then multiple times in the season, it's like, oh, your greatest wish is that you could see. It's like, oh, and
also,
then like magic Q Picard waves his hands, and then he.
It's also crazy that like that is in season 1, because that's when Gene had the fucking death grip on the show about like, no, it's the perfectly idealistic future where everybody's fine and happy and they all get along, and yet Geordi's just there like, I don't like being blind though.
I think it's the trouble of like that's kind of what we were talking about before we started recording, about the idea of like creators aging with their shows, and sometimes like, you know, the person they were when they were making the shows is different than like the society is now, and like where stuff has progressed. And Gene, it was like fucking leagues ahead of so much when he made the first Star Trek. Like he was so ahead of his time with how he was envisioning like, culture and society. And it's like the Star Trek that he envisioned was like, we got over our petty bullshit and we don't care about race anymore. Like that's such a past issue. There's like that iconic bit where like fucking somehow past Abraham Lincoln is on their ship and he uses like an outdated term to talk to Uhura, and he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, that's not a term I should be using." And they just look at him like, I don't know what you're talking about. And they're like, "Oh, we're so far past that, we don't care." Like just people being of a different color does not bother us in the slightest. It's like
there is so that, cool. But it's
but he
like,
was a man of the 70s, or he was a man of the 60s.
They're all running around with the miniest of skirts.
When you get to TNG, there's some little bit, we're kind of moving forward, but there's a little bit like, I think we've kind of moved past this and we kind of move even further. But he was still kind of stuck in his ways, and it wasn't until he eventually kind of was forced to relinquish the reins that it was like, oh, TNG can kind of be its own thing now, and it can kind of explore those new realms, which I think was very important for going forward.
Mm-hmm. It is a show that it takes a minute to get going, but when it gets going, it's fucking great. Like I was watching a bunch of season 4 episodes today, just because I think I watched your video on like Thursday or Friday, so I've been in the headspace of like, Star Trek, and I was watching for Deep Space Nine anyway recently, so
that's my favorite one.
Yeah, Deep Space Nine.
I love TNG, or I love DS9. DS9's I think DS9 might edge it out as my favorite.
Hey, can I disappoint all you Star Trek fans?
Yeah, you can disappoint me anyways.
The one I've seen the most of and the one I have the most attachment to is Enterprise.
I've not watched Enterprise yet, so I have no opinions about that.
It was that way for me for the longest time, because like the way I got into Star Trek was the Abrams movie, the first one coming out, and then like finding that the Sci-Fi Channel just had like almost day-long reruns of TNG and Enterprise at around that same time. So there would be days where I'd just be like, I don't have anything else to do today. I'll just sit down and watch Star Trek all day.
I would watch an episode every now and then just because I thought like sci-fi was the coolest thing in the world when I was like a little kid. But I'd like click onto an episode and like not know what the fuck's going on and be like, all right, well, something else then. Then I found somebody, or I was somebody's parents was a big fan of Deep Space Nine and made us watch like all of it, and I fell in love with that. And then I had a friend who liked to smoke weed and watch the original Star Trek series. And I would just get severely invested every time we watched stuff. Like it was supposed to be like a vibe thing and like just a chill out situation, and I would just be super tuned in every single time.
Well,
but it was great.
Star Trek, basically everything before the Abrams movies, they're kind of like the perfect sit down with a friend and watch type thing, and not sit down and like you need to like lock in and we're gonna watch this. Just like throw it on and you can kind of shoot the shit while stuff's happening, and then you'd be like, oh fuck, and then you can kind of be like, oh, that's so funny, and you can like riff on it, like, but still be like, oh, this is cool, or that's like a interesting idea. But it's kind of perfect, or like watching it on Discord with friends.
It was like prime syndication television.
Yeah. Like there is so much TNG that you can go a long time without having seen all of it. Myself, case in point, where it's like there's key episodes that people talk about all the time that like I've never fucking watched The Inner Light. I will someday, but I don't. I'm not like broken up about it. Because I watched The Wounded right before getting on for this podcast, and I was like, oh, fuck, that's so fun. And that brings me to the whole reason I wanted to talk to you about Star Trek, because from your video, like, I know you like Barclay, I know you like Worf. I gotta ask you, how do you feel about my boy Miles O'Brien?
as someone who likes DS9, I love O'Brien.
Right? Like
Wounded is the first time we got like a real good O'Brien episode, if I remember correctly. I don't remember
Wounded
if there
is
was one
also
before
like a vacuum
that.
pilot for Deep Space Nine because it's the first Cardassian episode.
Yeah, it's the first time we really dig into like the Cardassian stuff, because before it was like, oh, I think they might have been vaguely mentioned before, but this is the first time we really dig into it. And it's the first time we really dig into like, oh, what's Brian's deal? And you really get that, good scene of him talking about his experience like being in war and like, having to fight the Cardassians, and that's why he calls them like slurs, is because he has like really traumatic experiencing with them. And
it's like the first
then
time
that eventually bridges into going into DS9.
It's like the first time you see a human in Star Trek who's not portrayed as perfect. It's like, no, Miles is aware of his prejudices, but he has those prejudices and he struggles with them sometimes.
And that's what's so interesting about kind of almost looking at Star Trek in its like totality from like start to like where it is now. Because like kind of slightly in TNG, but especially DS9, they really did break the initial mold where like the way Gene wrote the original was like humanity's kind of overcome all these like petty issues, or we've moved past it. And then TNG like kind of like is still in that mentality. Like everyone on the Enterprise gets along perfectly. There's no real like conflicts. Everyone gets along awesome. There's not a lot of tension.
The big criticism of
everyone.
TNG is that it's kind of competency porn.
A little bit. It's not action. It's just like everyone's really good at their job. But then you get to DS9, and DS9 is where it's like, oh, there is tension all over the place. Like there is constant tension, because it's like, oh, in DS9 or in TNG and the original series, they're riding in a spaceship that as soon as they finish this story in this episode, they leave. And so whatever's happening where they left, it's like, well, we just hope that resolved itself, and then like that's not really our problem anymore. But in DS9, it's like, oh, we are in a static place that is in a very tense situation that has to just constantly be managed.
For the first 2 seasons, the Planet of the Week episodes are the same planet every week. It's just a different city.
But then TNG DS9 is like so much about like war and conflict and what decisions have to be made when war is an inevitability, because it's like sometimes you can't just diplomacy your way out of a war. Sometimes you do have to make actions that might be uncomfortable or might put you in an awkward position, but they're like that's kind of the reality, unfortunately. And I think that is compelling, but it is kind of this constant push forward where it's like, oh, Star Trek, darker and edgier, and there is an argument to be made that DS9 was kind of the tipping point where it's like, oh, can we pull Star Trek back to that more optimistic side? Because a lot of stuff later was really dark and gritty about everything.
Yeah, I want to like that brings me, because I've watched a few DS9. Like the main Star Trek I've watched is like 7 episodes of DS9 season 1, which I really enjoyed, and Star Trek Beyond, the movie in the Abrams timeline that wasn't directed by Abrams, that I actually really liked.
Yes,
Beyond is great. I love Beyond.
I think that was Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg, was it? I think he did.
No,
I believe so.
Simon Pegg helped with the script.
Oh, he was writer. It was
directed by, I think,
Justin Lin.
Yeah, Justin Lin. Fast and the Furious guy is how I always think of him.
Yes.
Simon Pegg did do and Doug John did do a script. Anyway, but yeah, and I always just like the end. I feel like DS9's kind of. You ever feel that entry in like any long running franchise that's like, this is the best one that you gotta watch, and it's like, oh, people are kind of like, they kind of sell it in a weird way.
Buster.
Yes.
DS9 is the RPM of stuff.
I was about to say that. The power, like basically, like I was gonna like basically the like everyone does it, like the Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds or the Power Rangers RPM is like, that's DS9's kind of in that like same, where it's like people kind of sell it wrong, where it's like, yeah, it's quote unquote darker, but that's just more thematic depth, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So it's like, but they kind of sell it wrong as like, oh, they don't know why they like it so much. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's
no, I get you. For me personally, I think DS9 is kind of at its best as a companion to TNG, like getting that like follow up and the like tension, because there's also a lot of stuff that only makes sense in context of having watched TNG, because
I'm sure there is. It's just like I only got so much time.
Characters.
I only got like so much time, and I really want to get to like the meat. Like a DS9 just has the most premise I'm most interested in.
Cinematic parallel.
Oh no, valid.
Between Power Rangers RPG and Deep Space Nine, one of the major characters is part of his characterization is being from the British Isles.
Oh, and then there's the Scottish blue.
And both of them are my favorite character in that show. But yeah, no, it's a weird thing because like for years and years I've just kind of been like a casual fan of Star Trek, where like I do really like TNG. I've never super gotten into TOS, but I can appreciate it. And Enterprise is like, I know a lot about it, but I don't have like a strong feeling one way or the other about it. And I've always been terrified to dip my toes into new Trek, but I've recently discovered a channel that's made me want to do that.
New Trek is very hit or miss, which is kind of true about all Star Trek. I think some people always kind of treat the first season of a new show as like, oh, this is fucking dog shit, unlike series I liked. It's like, I mean, if we're going back to first season TNG in a minute, like, let's be fucking real. Even first season TNG, even first season DS9, as much as I love DS9, is also kind of rough in spots because it's figuring out its own footholds. It's figuring out, okay, how do we use these characters and what stories are we kind of telling? I think DS9 is the first one that I think they kind of knew from the get, but it was still like, growing pains. And so, yeah, I think sometimes you just gotta let things.
DS9 doesn't get good until the Defiant shows up. Meanwhile,
a little bit.
That's the point I was kind of building to, though, is like, so for years I've just kind of had this casual Star Trek fandom, and there was just some bug that bit me at the start of this year where I was like, I've always tried to watch DS9 and only gotten a few episodes in. I think this year that's going to be like my main show. So right now I'm halfway through season 2, and I'm like, this is the rough bit? This is really fucking good. Like, I can't imagine how good the later seasons must be, because I'm enjoying the early seasons so much right now.
I think it also is dependent on like how much you like campiness.
Yeah.
Because as someone that it sounds like, you're into Sentai, I think having an appreciation for like, this is some bullshit, and you kind of just roll with it. Whereas if you take stuff very seriously, it's like, sometimes people have to warm up to that. Like, personally, I like dumb bullshit all the time. So like, if something's campy, I'm just like, hell yeah. Like, if that's what we're doing, that's what we're doing.
There are two types of people. There are people who think Move Along Home is the most cringe episode of Star Trek ever made, and there are people who think Move Along Home is just a delightful little romp.
Oh, this one. Yeah, that's a fine episode. It's not one that I would regularly go back to, but it's by no means like the worst thing ever.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like I got 10 minutes into the episode, and I was like, oh, this is right. That's very out of place, but all right.
In terms of the newer stuff, the stuff that I think is like actually pretty quality of like the post-Abrams stuff, Lower Decks and Prodigy are honestly pretty good as far
Prodigy.
as Prodigy,
I do really want to watch
the animated stuff.
The channel I've been I alluded to earlier is Steve Shives, and he's a guy who hates Voyager but loves Prodigy, and I'm like, well, it must be really good then.
That's the animated one, right?
Yeah.
I've been curious. I mean, I just like cartoons in general, so I've been kind of a little curious about that one. But like mainly just as like curiosity. How do you do like a modern Star Trek cartoon? I don't know. And I know there's like Lower Decks, but like for kids. Like I was like,
Lower Decks is Futurama with a Star Trek coat of paint.
I mean, like I still like what I've seen.
A little bit. Like
I did watch. It has like a bunch of episodes on YouTube. like of Lower Decks.
I do respect how much Lower Decks is clearly written by people who are like giant Star Trek nerds. So they're always trying to find stupid references they can make that are like, if you know, you know, kind of bits.
Yeah, I do want to get that's like if I do like the Star Trek bug bites me again, I do want to try Lower Decks again. It's not like it's nothing like I've seen of Star Trek as like maybe hated. It's just like time. It's just I'm into so many other things.
It's an
like,
investment. It's that like decision you're making of like how I want to invest my time.
It's also like it's something that has to find you at the right time. I think, like I was saying, like I've tried to watch DS9 several times before, and it's just never clicked with me. And it's just like, you know, right now feels like a really good time to watch DS9 for no particular reason.
I just realized what you meant by that.
Yeah. But the other like major Star Trek connection I had is like when the Abrams movie came out, I went and saw it with my dad, and my dad was like a lifelong casual Star Trek fan, and he hadn't actually seen most of the movies. So we watched through all of the pre-Abrams movies together, and that was like a big thing, a big bonding thing for us. So I know those movies inside and out. And I really like most of them. I think there's a good case to be made for nearly all of them, except for like a couple of the TNG ones. Like you can't really argue for Nemesis and Insurrection, but the rest of them, I'm like, you know, they're not perfect, but there's good stuff in most of them.
Oh yeah.
I've only seen the first one in a Discord call like a couple years ago. It was fine. I think I liked it a little more than like its detractors, but I didn't really. It wasn't really like head over heels for. I mean, I did watch Neon.
It's a very slow burn movie.
It's a very poorly timed movie with when it released, I think. But like looking back, it's like, no, this is kind of quintessential Star Trek.
Understandable. Yeah, I just like as just like a one-off adventure. It's like that was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, like I knew this would delve into Star Trek talk because Simeon was Simeon's a big star. I mean, not big, but like he always likes mentioning it, like whenever it's relevant.
I think once you get that,
Simeon is a big star.
I think once you get that bug with Star Trek, it is that like thing where like even if because I've only watched like so many like seasons, like I also have like giant gaps of knowledge in Star Trek. It is something that just is like enjoyable to talk to, especially when you will eventually devolve into the point of going, remember when Crusher got fucked by a space ghost?
Yeah.
Remember when the crew on TNG got hit by like a virus that devolved them on like a DNA level and
remember when those non-binary aliens that were called binars stole the Enterprise? And then Riker
and they stole it by distracting Riker and Picard by like having a sexy hologram in the holodeck, and that was enough to distract both Picard and Riker.
Remember when the whole crew were forced to cosplay as Robin Hood and his merry men?
Oh, I love that episode so much.
Why is that the most normal thing you said in that succession of sentences?
I am not a merry man.
Okay, that line kind of goes hard.
It's so funny.
But yeah, no, Star Trek's also just one of those things that I have enormous respect for, despite not being like a hardcore fan, because it was the vanguard of sci-fi into like the popular media landscape in the Western world, and in many ways it was kind of the birth of modern fandom in the West, where like most conventions the way they are now would not exist without Star Trek. Most like ways we talk about nerd media would not exist without Star Trek, for better and worse. And it's that kind of thing where like I always have the big historical picture in my head when I talk about something. And with Star Trek, you kind of can't ignore how it just connects into everything at this point.
Yeah, it is the granddaddy of fandom and like conventions and like if I remember correctly, because I did also do like extensive like reading into this when I was doing the video, is like you are right, like the first conventions as we know them started as Star Trek conventions, where it's like we are going to rent out a big space and we're going to have panels and a market artist alley type thing, and eventually they started getting like the actors from the shows. And it wasn't until those were getting traction that they then started like branching out into just like sci-fi convention or like broader sci-fi conventions. And, then eventually it turned into like anime conventions and video game conventions and so on and so forth.
Even like fan fiction has its roots in Star Trek, where like some of the first instances of people reading into gay subtext was Kirk and Spock.
Very famous one. Yeah.
It's just like I love that kind
Spock
of like,
X reader.
Yeah. I love that kind of stuff.
Reading them like a ancient scroll, like on the tomes.
Where it's like people normally wouldn't pay attention to this because most you just grab a random person off the street, you ask them like, oh, what do you know about Star Trek? I know live long and prosper and beam me up Gotti and make it so. And it's like, yeah, that's there. That's all good and important too. But like the inner workings, the machinations of how culture evolves and changes and yet always stays the same fascinates me.
No, that's definitely understandable. I always kind of appreciate those like broader looks at like, oh, how did this change, media in ways that we didn't expect it to.
Yeah. Oh my. Oh boy. Sorry.
Would you rather talk about something else for a bit, Buster?
No. It's. I mean, I was gonna like. There's a couple other questions I had, but it's like I'm not sure.
No. I mean,
fire them. That was kind of it.
My wheels are starting to
kind of riffing
spin.
at this point.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna ask about the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG video because I've been like playing a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh a lot, so it's like I've been like
I am looking at the Discord right now, and I'm seeing Buster Duel Links 2 days ago, and I'm just like
2 days ago. Wait, it shows on there.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I mean, I just watched Sevens, so I was like, I want to try Rush Dueling, and I was like, oh, they only do it on Duel Links because there's no like paper product.
Unfortunately, so, and just my God, Duel Links is just so fucking frustrating because it's such a good avenue to get people into playing the game, but oh my God, is that like the most Hitler monetization system they've ever developed? It is. The only reason Duel Links was allowed to prosper is there wasn't a better option for most TCGs.
I literally only did that just to try out Rush Dueling. I mainly played Master. I know most people go from Duel Links to Master Duel. I would like kind of reverse, and it was just mainly just dipping my toe into the Duel Links stuff. I never really do like gotcha, like mechanic. Like I just take what's free and just like go for it. Yeah, like and honestly, Master Duel's been very generous to me. Maybe because there was a moment where I just kept hoarding gems. Like there was a moment where it's like, oh,
it does cost you money, but if you want to make anything meta competitive, it is like you are shelling out like $200. I've watched one guy I like watching. He's done like mostly does like Master Duel and TCG stuff, but every once in a while he'll dip his toe back into Duel Links. It's like, okay, what do I need for this deck? And it's like you just watch them drop $50.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a very much a deck loyalist. Like I have my one deck and I stick to it and I tweak it like with like 1 or 2 cards like and stuff. Like I think I talked to you about this in like our other Discord. It's like I mainly play protagonist cards, mainly from the Link of Rain stuff. Just because I thought
you were playing like a Code Talker.
Code Talker. I did like I finally my friends did like the fighting game local, oddly enough, told me to like tweak it a bit, and I did tweak it to like I have like a Dark Fluid Dragon to make combos and just easy. It just it just flows better that way because I know like card game combos can be very intimidating, but just so I just kind of try to simplify it myself. Where it's just like, okay, what do I know from the show? And just from what do I know that I can do? Like I'm not trying to like push myself to like too much. So I'm not really like I just play for fun. I don't really go for competitive. Like not trying to be too sweaty. So yeah.
No, that's fair. A lot of people just want to like have like a game they can like pick up and throw some matches, even if it's with like a CPU.
Yeah.
It is like a very like steep learning curve.
I was just gonna say that's kind of the way I've been playing Pokemon Go recently, where just like it's a way to like distract my brain for a few minutes and like get outside for a walk.
Yeah. Just like a live service junk food.
Whatever Pokemon Go has to offer that's like more in depth and like fighting wise, really ain't worth it.
Yeah.
Like even the people who I know who are into it just interact with it like they end up stepping back every single time to like, oh, I just caught a really cool guy. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the point.
Yeah.
That's really the point. They gave the other stuff there for
out of
people who are bored.
Like that's kind of all I care about with Pokemon at this point is just like, give me a funny little creature and tell me that he's super awesome.
Yeah. I've played a good bit of Legacy of the Duelist because I kept trying to do the stuff that tells you how to play the new features. The only prominent thing I ever did with that game is my friend who was like an avid Yu-Gi-Oh player in real life played that game. I played a single match where I made an entire deck off of cool guys that I thought were cool, and he made an Exodia deck.
Oh no!
Because he didn't know any of the new stuff.
Dude.
And
okay, so they were a avid player before.
Yeah, and like I had the pendulum like characters in there and stuff that I didn't even understand. I was like triggering things I had no idea of, and it just completely decimated his chance of getting Exodia. And I won.
Yeah, because unless you're playing like an Exodia FTK where you are like designed it intentionally to like draw a billion cards and like, you know, never let your opponent like even get to their turn. Like you're not just like gonna win because you have Exodia in your deck. Like unless you are like just gonna assume that you are gonna get the 1 in a million draw of like, oh, I just drew all 5.
He absolutely expected to win because of that. And I never, for like years upon years, I refused to rematch him because I would only shit talk him about how bad he got beat.
as you should. You walk away with the +1, and that can never take that back from you.
Why would I need to go back? I already know the answer.
It is funny that like I don't know if Yu-Gi-Oh would be as successful if you were to change how the first show was originally written, but that show also like irrevocably changed how people interact with that game. It set such a specific precedent in people's minds of how the game worked that as the game like became something that was like a functioning system, because the first season like rules don't matter, like cards they just do shit. Like a lot of the time it felt more like a tabletop RPG where it's like, oh, I strike the moon and that causes the tides to rescind. It's like just bullshit happens. And it slowly morphed into an actual functioning game. But as it slowly shifted into a functioning game, there's people that got it stuck in their head. It's like, no, but like Yugi had the best deck. Like he had Exodia. Like you could just win if you drew all of Exodia. It's like,
it's kind of like if you think Pikachu is the best Pokemon.
But there's this hurdle called math. There's this hurdle called consistency. Is if someone can consistently.
And while over here, I'm just like, I like the cool big plastic things that they wear on their arms. Those look neat.
Oh, dual discs, yeah. But yeah, there are people that treat like Exodia still like it's like the best thing ever. It's like, yeah, it's like a fun win con. Like of the alternate win cons you can do, it probably has the most like historic wins, but a lot of that is because it's like, oh, people just design decks that like literally draw their entire deck until they hit Exodia, and they're not meant to do anything else.
The card wasn't how do I explain this? It's like people worked around the card. The card didn't work for them,
Yeah, and it's like you could have put that same effort into doing an FTK that just hit them for 8,000 damage. Like it ultimately could have been the same outcome. And that's why you have a lot of people that like watch that old show and have this certain mentality of how card games are. and then they look at everything past like the year 2010 and they're like, well, that's stupid bullshit. It should play like this. It's like, no.
Like I honestly, I think it's I just realized it might be a good idea that Magic never got like a tie-in show of any kind. But also, it's kind of in its own little Fortnite
they've
like
talked
problem
about
corner.
a show in production for like years, but it just has
well, like at the height of like card game, like 2000s card. I know the card games have reached a high since then. Where it's like
it's that thing that kind of infects every fandom of just Gen 1ism of I was there at the beginning and this is how, and I knew how everything was because I was there from the start, and I dropped off at some point and I was with it, damn it. I was with it until I had other shit to do, and then they went and changed what it was, and that's not fair.
It should have been stayed forever, like the thing I remember it as when I was 12 and I played Blue Eyes and thought it was the best thing ever and would win games on the playground. And that's always my favorite is any time someone goes, yeah, I played like Blue Eyes back in the day. It was like the best card, and it's like I won all the time. And it's like, okay, but you were playing against like other toddlers. If you even look at like what was winning like actual tournaments that were being held, no one was running Blue Eyes. I'm sorry to admit that your 12-year-old brain of what was good is very different from what the reality was.
Yeah, my problem back in the day is go ahead and Buster.
No, I just like I have like a weird perspective on this like Gen 1ism because like I kind of grew up in like a transitionary period for a lot of these like Yu-Gi-Oh, Power Rangers, whatever, like just stuff we were talking about of just stuff I was into. That was like everything was available all at once. It was not like quite the streaming age, but like everything was in circulation. There was like all these different versions of it was in circulation. So I had everything. This can change over time. There's multiple ways this can evolve.
For you, Dual Monsters, the like original series was just the first series.
Yeah.
For me, it was like, oh, that was just what it was for the longest time until we've established that there can be a new series with new systems.
Yeah, because like,
whoa, change, whoa, this was not established.
Yeah, and it's like I think that's why I've been always like up for like why I like themes of like legacy and change over like in so many of these like franchises because like I knew all of it all at once. Like I was in an era where it's like everything was changing in some ways. So. Like,
and I have the same thing as Buster, except I'm slightly older than them. So like with all the stuff I'm into, I'm almost entirely interested in legacy franchises that started before I was born. My favorite thing is Transformers, but I got into it with the Unicron trilogy, which was just before the Michael Bay films came around and like completely re-energized it, but also changed what it was. And I was there for that. I have like core memories of being in the theater day one for Transformers 07, but also I have plenty of core memories from like the 3 years before that of watching Energon and Cybertron and finding random VHSs of G1 episodes, and I've stuck with it ever since. So I've always had this idea of like, no, franchises are these fluid things where like we can be very referential to the original, but we can also do something just like completely wild and different with a character while still having the same name for them. Like it's this thing of like
there's having reference for the source material and then there's being like chained to the source material.
Yeah.
Which is a thing a lot of people like want. It's weird where like we're in a period with a lot of these franchises now where a lot of people both want it to be that way and there's a lot of people who really chafe at it being that way. Like again, going back to Transformers, it has kind of fallen into a trap in recent years of just redoing the G1 designs and making them slightly better as toys every like 5 to 10 years the last 2 decades. And there's a lot of people who are like, yeah, but there's other eras. There's other designs you can do. There's other things that could be updated, or you could just make something entirely new. And that's why a lot of people are glomming onto the current kids show, even though it is like literally made for babies and has like very quick designed for the internet pacing to it. But also it just has solid writing and is fairly funny, and the animation is, well, not incredible, really solid. So people are willing to go like, well, it's not G1, so I'm gonna get into this.
Well, those franchises that I feel like it's always in a state of or for the longest time it was always in a state of like, oh, this is a huge shakeup for this franchise. Because the first one I ever watched and really got invested in was Beast Wars as a kid.
I
thought
knew
it was
you were gonna
awesome.
say that.
I love Beast Wars. I thought Beast Wars was sick as fuck. And it wasn't until many years later that I was like, oh, Transformers fans didn't like that? And it's like apparently they just were really mad about how it like messed with their idea of continuity and was this different thing. But now you look at it in hindsight even further from that, and people are like, oh no, that was a really cool series that did a lot of great, boundary pushing for what these characters could be, and the functionality and where it goes. And now
also a landmark
they
in
make
just
reprints
animation
of those toys and they sell like crazy.
This is just a landmark in animation technology.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I came into it just thinking, I was like, oh wow, robots can be anything. That's awesome. I'm right here for it.
Well, motherfucker, you just love robots.
Yeah, literally. I mean, most of the stuff we talked about tonight has something to do with robots, so that's why I was there.
Star Trek has robots. Yu-Gi-Oh has a lot of robot archetypes.
Yeah, that's the great thing about Cody is you don't have to ask him who his favorite character is when talking about something like Star Trek. You know he's just going to say Data.
Yeah. So it was on the tip of my tongue. I hate when
I was going to say about Yu-Gi-Oh earlier. I never knew how to play the card game. Just like I never knew how to play Pokemon, the card game. I had a shit ton of cards. I had more scapegoats than anybody ever knew because it was the only thing I wanted. I had like several holographics. I would trade whatever the fuck I had for it. I had a massive stack of those things, and it was my favorite thing to do. And I didn't play the game.
Have you ever looked into getting the
They're
scapegoat
gone.
plushes they sell now?
Oh, yes. And the toys they just released. They just released a nice little statue set of them.
Oh,
although I feel like I like the plushes more because they remind me of the Jubs from Neopets. Sorry for anybody.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yo,
yeah.
On Neopets, real quick. Have you fucking heard what happened with the RPG Kickstarter?
The what?
Yeah.
No.
Neopets licensed out to a group of people to make a TTRPG based off of the property. They did a Kickstarter. It made a good amount of money. But as bits and pieces started coming out, people realized, wait a second, there's a lot of death and killing and weird fetish stuff in this Neopets TTRPG. The fuck's going on here? Yeah, that's about it. It's just weird.
That's it? So I thought there was a punchline.
No, they did lose the license. They're not making the game anymore, and they have to refund money.
You need to get to that. You that's the chase. You gotta cut to it, Boingo.
That just adds into how things have to change. Sometimes the thing you love becomes a weird fetish thing.
Sometimes it was always that. Hi,
God.
Oh no.
I did not. Well, thanks for that curse knowledge, Boingo. Very much appreciated.
You're welcome.
What else has been? Oh no, I had.
Don't hurt your brain. Don't hurt your brain.
I know. I'm not gonna force it. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna ask anything related to things you made videos on, Fox. I'm just gonna ask, what have you been doing recently? Just to unwind after a long.
The last 5 minutes.
The last.
I've been playing a shitload of Deadlock.
I've heard a lot of good things about that one. I've seen the character designs and art online, and I'm like, that's some tasty character design.
It is the most sauced up shooter currently on the market in terms of designs. Like it's the thing people compared a lot to with Concord when it came out, because Concord it was like, oh my god, these are the most bland, made by HR designs possible. And Deadlock, just every character looks so distinct and fits within this broader gothic, modern gothic New York vibe.
It has a Wolf Among Us vibe to it.
A little bit, yeah, because it's going for a similar kind of aesthetic because it's set in New York, but it's like gothic within that setting.
Well, it seems very.
So,
I know it isn't. It has a similar vibe to me as like Vampire the Masquerade.
Kind of because there are vampires. There's like
but you see what I'm saying? It's like it's just factions and people going at each other and mysticism and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of mysticism. Like the goal is like you're taking down the enemies, like not their god, but their like
self-esteem.
Yeah, exactly. And you're but it's not a shooter like a Marvel Rivals. It's more a MOBA, and it's the first MOBA I've ever really gotten into because it's structured like a MOBA, like Dota or League. Where you're like, here's like multiple paths that you branch down, and you have like a laning phase, and you got to buy items, and you take down towers, and you kill bots,
all right,
et cetera.
Cody, just because
but it's from the viewpoint of a hero shooter, like you're viewing it from a third person shooter view. Oh, Dynamo's my guy. Oh, I love Dynamo. He's so good.
But I need to post it because of you, Cody.
Oh my god.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah, that's the most Cody character.
Oh my good god, are you fucking kidding me?
He's a big round guy who has a healing aura around him. He's a heal. He's part healer, but also his main form of offense is just stomping on the ground and causing a big wave to shoot out in front of him.
Listen, I have had a very toxic relationship with MOBAs in my life, so I don't know if I could look at that.
It's also like only on PC, and I think you only have a PlayStation.
Thank God. Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah, because this is made in-house by Valve. Like, I don't know how Valve is going to make money off this. Eventually, they're going to have to put like monetization in it because it's currently only early access. But it's been early access for like 2 years, and they're still like dumping money into this. And it's like, how are you making money? Like, this is just like a long-term investment?
I think they've still just got piles and piles of TF2 hat money.
Probably.
And they just run
that
Steam.
is probably the reality.
They just run Steam, which is like everyone uses Steam. Like, so.
Yeah.
They're probably making pennies on the dollar of every transaction there.
But it's just a really addicting game. One of the most recent patches, and I say recent, it's been like a few months. They added a new mode where, separate from like the standard MOBA mode they have, where it's 3 lanes and it takes like a standard game at like normal pace is like 30 to 40 minutes. They added what would be the equivalent of a ARAM in League, which is 1 lane, and it's just team fights the entire time, and it's just like you trying to get your opponent's tower while defending yours, and it is such a fun little like quick 10-15 minutes depending on how quick things wrap up if you beat them faster than you, and you just get these really good bite size, like, oh, that felt really good, me and this other guy were synergizing really well in terms of how we were setting up team fights. And I don't know, it just scratches a certain itch that I didn't realize I have when it comes to like MOBAs.
If you haven't, I used to play Smite a lot, and it was very interesting and fun. But then it became a little too MOBA-y, and it became not that.
I feel like everyone's gonna have that with like any kind of live service game, or just in and out. You just can't. You're not gonna be on it forever.
They pulled a shitty fucky, and they screwed over their entire fan base and released a Smite 2, which was Smite 1 with like new graphics, and they resell all of your old shit to you.
Yeah, so Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
So I went and Google image search Deadlock to find that splash image I put in the chat earlier. And one of the other things that comes up when you Google image search the game, about like 2 or 3 brackets down, is the poster as featured on IMDb for a Bruce Willis movie called Deadlock.
Oh
yeah, that's the first thing I saw. That's the first thing I saw. I was like, "What? Bruce Willis? No, I want to see the video game."
Doesn't even look like a real poster. It looks like a poster a like fan would make, or like a streaming service would make for an older movie.
Yeah, And I was just thinking, like, it looks like that Matchbox poster we kept memeing on a couple.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Fox. Do you know there's like
God, Matchbox.
I need to show this to you, Fox. There's a Matchbox movie, and it has the funniest poster that's it's not even out yet. This is just the promotion. Wait, it's like I think, if I can find the goddamn.
No. Wait. Before you put the poster in, this is the first thing for the movie that comes up when I search it. So I want to ask, like, does anything about this say Matchbox to you, Fox?
By the way, this is the Matchbox cars, the Hot Wheels adjacent
Hot
toy
Wheels.
line.
I guess like
okay, yeah.
And there are cars.
That's John Cena.
Yeah, that's just John Cena. Yeah, that's just John
It's
Cena
just
running.
John Cena is Action Man.
John Cena seems a little too big for those cars for some reason. I know he's a big guy, but
he's out of scale.
He is. He's out of scale.
Yeah, I think this was the poster. I was like,
yeah, that's the one we laughed
at.
It looks like I think we said it looked like a Scott Pilgrim Lucas Lee poster, like a couple weeks back.
There's something about this movie where just every photo that comes out for it looks like it was taken at just the wrong moment.
Very very quickly, for my my wrestling fans in the call, does anyone know who voices this guy, Abrams?
No.
Abrams.
So this guy, for some reason, I don't know why, is voiced by Samoa Joe.
What?
Whoa.
I mean, he's done voice work.
I have no idea how Valve got in contact or in what way he was brought in to do it, because it's such an out of nowhere thing. But it's like, yeah, apparently Samoa Joe voices
I'm willing to bet
this one character in a Valve game.
Does somebody at Valve? Is there somebody at Valve who used to work at Machinima?
Possibly.
Maybe?
Because Samoa Joe voiced a Transformer in the Machinima Transformers show.
I just think
Samoa Joe is also Sweet Tooth.
I just that I do remember. I just assumed they were like a big old school fan of TNA.
Yeah, that could also be there, but I think
they're like, oh man, the main event Mafia was so cool. What if we got Joe to voice our character?
I'll be real, like all the wrestlers kind of like blend together for me at a certain point. I thought you were talking about like Roman Reigns' real name for a second.
No.
Yeah,
his real name is just Joe.
Yeah, his real name is Samoa Joe.
I just know because I still remember when like they announced that he's doing like voice work for that Zootopia movie, and I was just like, oh my god, how can you put more repellent on that movie than already was on?
Can I take a very quick 3-minute break to use the washroom?
Yeah. We can vibe for a bit while you do that.
Okay. We'll be right back.
All right. Boingo, how you doing?
I'm all right.
I feel like I haven't caught up with you in a bit.
Had a job last night, job today. Just kind of tired.
So you woke up this morning, got some gabagool. Did your mama tell you you were the chosen one?
No.
I'm gonna throw you in a garbage chute, Buster.
Garbage chute.
Garbage. I'll probably
Garbage
end
poop.
in a bit. But
we got time.
Yeah, we got time. But I just want to go to bed or eat.
Yeah,
I probably could just eat on podcast, but I don't. I don't want to chew chips loudly.
I mean,
I've done that before.
Yeah, and I don't want to do it again. I
I ate burger on podcast tonight, bud.
We didn't even know.
Quietly.
What were the toppings on that burger? I've also been fucked up. I've been sleepy ever since. This week was the week that I drove up to North Carolina and back within 24 hours.
Yeah, how'd that go, by the way?
It was fine. The driving was fine. I got on the road and immediately I knew, I was like, well, I guess this isn't going to be hard, because I got on a highway and it's like, stay on this for 187 miles. And I was like, damn. And then I get in another one, the next turn I make after that, it's like, stay on this for 235 miles. And I was like, well, I'm there already. I just have to sit here for a second. And there was no traffic. Literally all the driving I did on 75 any direction was 1,000 times worse than the 8 hours I drove up there and then 8 hours back. which kind of perplexes me because it really made me hate 75 even more. Talking about highways, we don't have to continue.
Oh hell yeah!
I mean, life is.
I'm
What's
more
the
into
highway
byways.
situation like in Canada, by the way?
What
What's the highway
Canada?
situation like up there?
We just have one big one.
Nice. That seems simpler.
One big one that just stretches across the entire country. Honestly, that's not even that far from the actual reality of it.
Yeah, I mean,
we just got the 16 that runs east to west, and then you just have a few branches off that, and that's all you need.
Who was your favorite character from the Cars franchise?
Believe it or not, I've never watched the Cars franchise.
Damn.
Whoa!
That's okay.
Unfortunately,
That's okay.
I'm
it's okay. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
But
I was like, I don't know if this is for me.
The primary demographic was American redneck children who lived in trailers, and that was me.
That really liked Larry the Cable Guy.
That was also me. Literally, it was also me. I was like, oh my god, he's a tow truck.
Perfect casting.
Yeah, I was the kid who like I was into like the blue collar comedy group in general, but Larry the Cable Guy was the one where I was like, no, I won't watch him. Even
Dude,
I will not stoop that.
That was
when I was little.
Mm-hmm.
When I was little, I found out that like Larry the Cable Guy was, I forget what his actual name was, but it was all like fake.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I was so mad.
Have you
I
heard
was
him
still
not
little,
speak
but I
with
was
the
so
character
fucking
accent?
mad. Yeah, no, not even that. I saw him do his stand up, and I was like, oh, this is old, like Larry the Cable Guy's old stuff. And then like I saw a thing about him talking about the character Larry the Cable Guy, because like a lot of country people believe that he was still just genuinely that character. Like maybe he was putting on a little bit of the extra accent, but like he 100% is not.
And they also think that the Undertaker is a real undead wizard.
Yeah.
Isn't he from like Arkansas?
I mean, you could be redneck anywhere, but it's more about the like.
Arkansas does get pretty bad.
He's from Nebraska.
Okay.
Same diff.
Yeah, same general area.
I
remember watching him like many years ago and thinking about him now. It's like, at what point does that like character just like become who you are? Like when do you like lose the ability for yourself to view that as a character, not just like, oh, that's just me.
Oh,
that was pretty much his life for like a solid 10 years.
Yeah, I imagine that was what it was like for Doug Walker. With the where does kayfabe end and shoot begin?
That man is in a hell of his own making. Let's be honest.
He probably also doesn't even realize it's hell.
Yeah, he just kind of is like,
no.
He's like the dog
I think Doug has enough self-awareness that the journey he's been on. Well, I'm sure he's like satisfied with where he is now, because I mean he makes money. He's gets to do a job where he just gets to shoot the shit about stuff he likes and doesn't like. But I'm sure there was some level of like, man, I can't keep doing this forever.
I mean
that was the boldly flee, and then it backfired.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. Like he tried to, and then people said no, get back in the box, and I was like, okay.
I just didn't expect.
Maybe that is where that, like, going all the way back to the start of the conversation. Maybe that is where that whole mentality of, well, I can't do the other thing because algorithm will bash me in the head comes from.
So like all things in the world, it all connects back to freaking websites from 2008.
All roads lead to Doug Walker.
Believe it or not, like it is relevant, because one of the first things that made me want to go, I want to make videos on the internet, was Channel Awesome. And for a long time I was like, I want to be on the Channel Awesome webpage.
I mean,
these creators I think are
no, it was like a benchmark for a good 10 years there, I want to say.
Yeah. Like we look on it now, it's like, oh, that was so cringe, but it's like at the time that was like the place to be if you were into nerdy stuff and wanted to talk about like reviews and like things you thought were cool. Like that was like at its peak, so many people were invested. And I was one of those people, and like I remember watching, I have such a distinct memory of watching the one of the videos they did as like a group wasn't the like anniversary movies. It was like a behind the scenes thing they did for the anniversary movies where it's all them hanging out and having fun. And I just remember thinking, man, it'd be so fun to like do this and like make a bunch of friends. And in a weird way that did come true, not with those people, but like I have so many friends that I only have because of the weird journey online that I did.
Yeah. I've been there. Yeah.
I mean, this podcast is an example of that kind of shit because I was just making some videos and then Sim popped up in my DMs and was like, "Hey, I like that. Befriend."
That sounds right.
You're like, hell yeah.
I mean, it was literally that, or sit down at the table with somebody and say, "What's your favorite dinosaur?"
I used to do that too.
That's how it works. That's how you make friends, people. You just got to take the initiative.
And just don't be weird in like a
You be weird.
Well, no, there's different levels of weirdness because there's like I don't know.
Hey,
find them all.
No. There's being weird and then there's being a creep. Don't be a creep. Find somebody who is weird like you, and then get to the point where you can just be weird with them.
Yeah, there has to be a mutual exchange. I feel like of weirdness.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're just in your own weird world, like so many, like I've seen this in too many Discord servers where it's like people will just be in their own weird world and expect everyone to conform to them, and it's like no.
I understand where like the statement comes from, but I always love the like the idea of like giving someone advice to saying like making friends or like even approaching someone you're interested in romantically, and the like idea of don't be a creep is such like a specific way to tell someone, because it's really vague and it's like it's only helpful if you know what being a creep looks like, and you're probably not going to do that. But if you don't know what being a creep looks like, you're probably not going to know what that internally means.
There's a specific example I'm thinking of, but I don't know if I should say it because it kind of involves something from like a past event. Like basically all I'll say is please don't like waifu it up in public. That's all I'm gonna say. I think that's vague enough, right?
Yeah, Supergirl Sim.
Listen,
I'm joking.
Dig
it. Okay, well, he's chill about
I feel like people know, like, probably like 50% of it is me playing it up for internet discussion bullshit. Like, I do like that character, but also it's fun to like push it to that extra level and be like, no, I like her this much.
It's like you're very satirical about it. You're not like, because I don't know. Yeah.
I'm also like a lot more critical of her media than I feel like most fans of her are. We're all like, I've been trying to reread Post Crisis in the lead up to the movie just because I haven't read any of it in a long time, and it's it's fucking dog shit, dude. It's so fucking bad.
Well, also that's Goop Girl, Supergirl, isn't it?
No. That is Matrix Supergirl. Post-Crisis Supergirl is when they got rid of Matrix and said, no, we're bringing in actual Kara Zor-El to the post-Crisis timeline.
Oh, I thought you were just talking about in general.
And it was just a thinly veiled excuse to draw a cheesecake of a teenage girl.
Well, I mean, wasn't
cheese pizza?
I mean, wasn't some of that drawn by like someone from Aspen?
Yep.
Aspen. I think I have a couple Aspen comics.
Are those not like an artist I should know about?
No, Aspen was a publisher known for being very cheesecake.
Okay.
What does cheesecake mean?
Cody, you seriously don't know?
Glue drawings that aren't porn.
Oh, okay. Thank God. Thank God it wasn't what I thought it was.
Yeah, no. But yeah, no, there was a whole period in the like early to late 2000s, just the 2000s, Simeon, just say the 2000s. There's a whole period in the 2000s where there was a strong trend of comic companies just selling their whole line on, look at this extremely hypersexualized art.
I remember.
Like those fucking Grim Fairy Tales books.
The Aspen is one. I think Arctic?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like post-crisis Supergirl was it came from a place initially of just like people going like, wait, no, actually this character was fun to write for. We should bring her back. But somewhere along the way it kind of got poisoned with, oh, we can use this to tap into that part of the market.
Ah.
And it's also just it's a bunch of 30-year-old male comic book writers trying to write a teenage girl in the 2000s. So, you know.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
And Arctic Press was the people who made Ninja High School and Gold Digger.
Gold Digger.
Those sound like joke names in like a freaking cartoon.
Well, here's the thing. The artist for Gold Digger legitimately does draw porn, too, so...
I mean, I don't really care about that.
No, I'm just more saying, like, yeah, no, the cheesecake is there, like, there's connections.
Yeah, I know. I just like if they drop one, it's like okay, cool.
They drop one.
You know? It's like, I don't know. I just the way you said it, built it up, felt a little judgmental. I don't know.
No.
What's the saying with fascism? The cruelty is the point. This is like the horny is the point.
Yeah. But like, also, it's interesting. Like, the dude is still current, like a current artist, still improving the craft, and they've been going on since the '90s. And this is like one of the comics from the '90s.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Just a constant direction.
Oh, that's like some '90s like how to draw anime type art.
Oh no.
yeah, but
that's Store Chitara. Let's go.
But that's what Antarctic Press was all about. It was like, it was the place for, hey, you're American, you want anime-like stuff, here you go.
Yeah. Well, we're going to wrap up in a bit. Fox, is there any last topics you want to touch on before we wrap up? Or like anything on the brain?
Nothing off the dome. Nothing particular comes to mind.
I had one more last question to ask, but like I know that's kind of rude to ask. I don't know. I was gonna ask about like Yu-Gi-Oh TCG Part 2. I was gonna ask this earlier, but like
it is perpetually the next thing I'm working on until something else distracts me, because that is a big project that I keep feeling good about until I hit a roadblock.
That's completely understandable.
It's very close to finishing in the scripting stage. It's just the problem is it's an ever evolving game, so I never quite feel like I've captured its current state. So.
I can imagine that. It's like, do I include like I can imagine where just like, do I stop at like where the anime stops, or do I stop or where it's like, do I cover like the alternate formats? It's like, yeah, I can imagine that.
Well, it's even just some stuff I say near the end is like outdated, like 2 years out. Like I took a break to work on other shit, and I talk about like, oh, this, that, or the other thing, and it's like, oh, Konami changed that, and now that's like a irrelevant sentence.
Yeah, problem with ongoing, just because Yu-Gi-Oh's just never gonna end at this point, and probably like it's a fun game, and it's like I like seeing all the changes, but it's like it makes it hard. I can imagine it makes it hard to make a conclusive retrospective on.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. All right, I think that will do it for today. Thank you, Fox, for coming on. I'm sorry for all the wacky shenanigans that happened, but hey, I'm glad. I hope you enjoyed yourself even a little bit.
No, I had fun.
We appreciate you slumming it in our ramshackle operation here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Happy to join.
Yeah. Would you like to plug your stuff?
You can find my stuff on Foxcade on YouTube. I put out videos when they come out. Like, I don't have a set timeline. They just, hopefully I can put out like 2-3 videos this year. But we'll see where that goes. And then I also do editing on regular eye patch wall, so you can also see my stuff there. But I'm a lot more behind the scenes on.
Hey, behind the scenes are very important and are often underrated.
Yeah.
Ask me how I fucking know.
You don't need to tell me.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're gonna plug the regular Chuckle Fricks. Cody, plug your stuff.
My name is Snowcone83 legally, and you can find me at Snowcone83 at Bluesky, Never_robot on Instagram, and Snowcone83 on most gaming platforms.
Simeon?
My name is Simeon Scott illegally. You can find me at 123 Fake Street, and you can look at my photos on Bluesky.
Boingo?
Hello, I am Boingo Writer. You can find me on a variety of places on the internet, such as YouTube and Twitch and Bluesky. All you have to do is follow the magic blue words in the description.
Hyperlinks. And I am your host, ? Buster? The guy who helped put this episode together, I guess. I mean, Boingo's gonna edit it, but I put together the recording. Anyway, I have a YouTube channel where I talk about wherever, and try to do a video every week, but sometimes I just skip a week because life happens. I'm also on Bluesky yapping too much. I'm also on Letterboxd and other social media platforms. You can find them all in the description. You just search up Buster Corp and just find it. But yeah, thank you for joining us for this week's Modular Components. Any last words, fellas, before I kill you all?
Tardigrade.
End it now.
Make it quick.
Please, God.
Split the insurance money.
I'd actually like a life sentence.